First, let's pay homage to the lineage gurus. Homage to the Venerable Monk Liao-Ming. Homage to Master Sakya Tsung-Kung. Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa. And homage to Master Dubden Dorji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. Homage to the main deity of the group practice tonight. Medicine Tathagata of the Eastern Lapis Lazuli realm. Namo Vaisaya Guru. Namo Sunlight Radiance Bodhisattva. Namo Moonlight Radiance Bodhisattva. And the 8 great Bodhisattvas, the 12 medicine generals. Sumo Tanchen Katso Tuten Siddhi Tuten Kama, all Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma instructors, Dharma tutors, temple and center directors, all disciples present here and over the internet. Good evening, everyone. How do you do?
오라미코 깨깨롱 무초 스코인 이지와 기모지 주미 야비 뿌린뿌린 고마워. 아, 今天有这个
Today, we had the conclusive ritual for the Sangha training for the newly ordained monk and nun. Yes, yeah. And this afternoon they also came for the empowerment for drawing talismans, and also Siddhikarma Bodhisattva and 7 Tathagatas. Empowerments for Siddhikarma Bodhisattva and the 7 Tathagatas to perform the Siddhikarma Bardo Deliverance Yoga. Those were the empowerments for this fasts, Dharma teachers. During the empowerment for drawing talisman, when they extended their palm, so I took a quick look at the palm print, and I said, of this several monks and nuns, they have one that is a big boss, and which one that have been a big boss? Please stand up if you had been a big businessman or big boss before. Don't be shy. Please stand up. And who else? So for the empowerment for drawing talisman, by taking a look at the palm lines, I knew that they were big bosses before. and they became monks.
这个小老板还没有出家，
And yet
根本不是
the small bosses,
真没有出家。
or not even
你看这是大老板，
bosses, became monks.
我跟你说，你们当什么大老板？与其中一个大老板讲，
What kind of big bosses were you?
50步，50步的
And he said
是大巴士吧？
he had 50 big buses
还是 truck
or trucks,
大巴士有50部，
50 of them.
他是这个公司的大老板。
And he was the owner.
所以这个出家也是不简单，有些大老板是不会出家的。
So
大老板也出家，
it's not
我一看
simple that they became ordained,
哎，
even though they were big businessmen
当大
before.
老板
So by taking a look at their palms, I knew.
住的大巴
And he said that he had 50 big
一部巴士
buses. How much is one bus?
谁知道汽车的汽车？那时候一部巴士多少钱？
At that time, how much is one bus?
4万美金，
$40,000 US dollars.
算便宜的。
That's cheap.
30年前，
30 years ago.
30年前4万美金，
$40,000 US dollars 30 years ago.
真的。我记得我1982年，
I remember in 1982,
我移民到美国。
I immigrated to
1982
America,
年6月16号，
June 16th, 1982.
买那个房子，
And I bought a house in Ballard.
那不止30年前，
That's longer than 30 years ago,
40年前，
40 years ago.
那栋房子才8万块钱。
And that house cost $80,000 US dollars. A big house.
后来我卖掉啊，那个
And I sold
买的
it.
人把它分成2半，又盖2栋。
And the buyer
那土地
subdivided the land and built 2 houses. But that land and the house was
之后
worth $80,000 then.
生活蜜月，
And then 3 years later, I built the tent quarters, and it cost
生活蜜月盖起
$90,000 US dollars to build it.
那30年前4万美金，
So $40,000 US dollars 30 years ago,
50部
and 50 of them,
50/20就200万了。哦，
that would be 2 million.
200万，如果算的话，现在的钱差不多
So
10倍了。
probably about 10 times now. So you have 20 million US dollars.
如果现在来讲，就是2000万美金呢。
So adjusted for now. So you are a big boss.
那只是本钱而已哦。
And
还有周转
those
的钱，
were just the assets.
还有土地。
And then there are other,
现在
you know, the company, the land, and the cash.
建成雷藏寺，对不对？
And you wanted to build a Lizang temple on your piece of land, right?
要盖成雷藏寺哦。
You wanted to build a Lizang temple
土地很大啊。
on a big piece of land, right?
土地有多大？
How big?
3万方尺。
Huh?
3万方尺是多大？我没有数学观念。
30,000 what? I don't know. How do you do the math?
哦，3/4亩。
0.75 acres. I don't know how big that is either. Well, it doesn't matter. So it's really incredible that big bosses could become a monk. And the Fa Si from Hong Kong is also a big boss. Or the son of a boss. My father. You open a winery, your dad. So he always gives me a wine whenever he comes. So it's incredible this time. One is the second generation of rich family, and the rest are all big bosses. Very good. And in the future, if there's an affinity, we hope let's invite more big bosses to become monks and nuns. See, the big bosses, they have land and they have money, and as soon as they go back, they can build a temple immediately. So today is Medicine Tathagatas, and we also pray to Medicine Buddha that those who are sick can be cured. And recently, Grandmaster had throat problem and digestive system problem. I remember in China there was a dialect in China. Which province that would say Ihat? Sichuan. Hakkanis? And our principal, we call him by the accent that he had, Ihatzi instead of Xiazi in Mandarin. I don't know which province or which area that he came from. So human life is fleeting. Don't think that you're all very healthy in a flash. Very quickly you will be sick, and momentarily you will be old and die. I never talk about me being old, but recently I feel differently. Nowadays, suddenly it's the throat. And in the past, in 1 or 2 days, it recovers by itself. But now, it's been a week, and I have hoarse voice. My digestive system, it's been a month or 2, and in the past, it never happened that long. And diarrhea. And in the past, when I took Imodium in America, we used Imodium for diarrhea. With the pill, it recovered. It stopped. And then from diarrhea, it became constipation. But now, no. It took a long time. For a few months. Many ailments, many problems. Is that because of old age? And women should be, it's difficult for women to lose weight. But for me, it's difficult to gain weight. And in the past, my face is round and full. But recently, I lost weight. And it's been difficult to regain the weight or the fullness. So I laugh at myself that my diet succeeded. But women, they are battling with their weight all their lives. Therefore, it's difficult to have long life and health. The meditation is to wish for Grandmaster to have a long life and health. That's impossible. If you have a long life, you won't be healthy.
Long life and healthy.
It's impossible to have both health and long life. If you have a long life, then your body starts to deteriorate. Right? Is there a curse saying that but your mother good is, but not that. Because that's just get lost. When I was young, everything passed very fast, recovered right away, but now it's a lot slower. So this showed a Golden Mother's words at 79. After the new year, I'll be 80. I hope. I should create a substitute. Or the practice of substituting, so that the bad lucks, the misfortunes of the year can can disappear.
因为我本身呢，身体健康很久。
Because I was very healthy for a long time.
79岁以前
I can say before 79,
很健康，
most of the time I was very
很
healthy,
健康，很 strong，
very strong and
没有什么
healthy.
大病，没有。
Nothing
哇，
major.
今年的真的是
But this year,
2月
from February until now,
1月快12月
November, almost December,
好的时间不多。
there were many days I was well.
备受煎熬，备受煎熬。
I really suffered greatly.
赶快过去啊！
I've been suffering greatly. I hope it passes fast. It passes soon.
我求药师琉璃光如来，
I pray to Medicine
药师琉璃光
Tathagata.
如来，拜托你，
Medicine Tathagata, please,
我们每一个有病的，
that everyone with
今天晚
ailments
上
and
都给我们
sicknesses,
一粒仙丹，
please give us the immortal pill tonight.
吃了，大家都好了，都没病了。
Then, after taking it, we all will be well and no illnesses at all. That would be faster.
快一点，
It'd
但是
be
仙丹一定
faster.
要真的，
To take that immortal pill, it has to be the real one too.
啊，不能是假
The
的，不能是假的仙丹。
magical pill, and not the fake one, okay? It has to be the real one.
我们求求药师琉璃光如来，
We pray to Medicine Tathagata to please give us this magical
每一个人都
pill
身体都健康，
so that everyone
这样
will
才
be
有
healthy
能
by
力
taking
活
it. Then we have the strength to spread Buddha Dharma, right?
讲个笑话吧。
Let me share a joke.
老王对老李说
Wang：“
我
told
已经
Li,
开始学习游泳，
I've started to
老
learn
李就问
swimming. And
怎
Li
么样
asked,
学的怎么样？
how
老
is
王
it?
讲回答：
And Wang
游
said,
泳衣都已经买好，
I've bought the swimming trunk.
现在就差下水而已，
I just need to get down to water.
还没有下水。”
He hasn't even started to get down to water.
小明问小华：“
Ming
你知
asked
道为什
Hua,
么海族
do you know
很聪
why
明吗？”小华回答：“为什么呢？”
that
小明笑，小明就讲：“因为他们住在水里，不用上学，
why is the
所以很聪明。
sea creatures very smart? Because they live in water, they don't have to study. So they're smart. ”
小明告诉他的妈妈
Xiaoming
我
told
昨天
his
考了
mom,
100
yesterday
分
I got 100.
妈妈很疑惑，
And
真的？
mom was really
哪
curious.
一个科
Really?
目啊？
What class?
小明回答：
And Xiaoming said,
是体检的时候血压100。
yes, during a checkup, my blood pressure is 100.
好了，我们进入主题。
Now we'll
马来西亚
get to the main
莲
subject.
花万里问的
Question from
在藏
Malaysia.
传佛教五大
In
金
Tibetan
刚
Buddhism,
是无上瑜伽部的大法。五大
in
金刚
Tibetan
在
Buddhism,
法
that the
密法修行
5 great
所
Herukas
侧重的地方大不相同。四大教派
are
都在
the
五大金刚
the
当中
main,
选
the
一
great
个
Dharma
重
of the
要
highest
派
Yoga
的
Tantra.
修
Their practices differ in the inner tantric and secret tantric stages. The four major schools choose one of the 5 great Herukas as their primary deity in their cultivation. But in the Tribuddha school, the progression of practice goes from the outer tantra to inner tantra, then to Heruka practices, and finally culminating in the either great perfection or Mahamudra. And the primary deity changes in each of these stages. Many lineage gurus have stressed the importance of focusing on a single primary deity or yidam. Since the 5 great Herukas encompass all outer, inner, and secret practices, and the quintessence of Tantric Buddhism is encapsulated within the 5 Herukas, so I believe that through Tribuddha school should advocate only one of the 5 great Herukas as the sole primary deity. If this is so, which one would Grandmaster recommend? We know the 5 Herukas are Hevajra, Chakrasamvara, Guhyasamaya, Yamantaka, and some Kalachakra or Mahotara. They are considered the Tantric 5 Herukas in Tibetan Buddhism. And we know in Sakyapa they specializes on Hevajra. Kakyupa, the Heruka practices in Kakyupa have several. Gelugpa is Yamantaka. Primarily is Yamantaka. And Kagyupa, Chakrasamvara. And Kalachakra is practiced by many. And Guhyasamaya. In Kagyupa, Guhyasamaya, Chakrasamvara, and Kalachakra. Kalachakra is highly revered in all 4 schools. It's not necessarily that one Heruka belongs to one school. In Nyingmapa, of course, it's Mahotara. So Nyingma, Gelug, Kagyu, and Sakyapa. Especially Sakyapa is Hevajra. And of the 5 great Herukas, I have written all the practice stages, but primarily Hevajra. I have written a book called Emptiness Within Great Bliss, and that's the detailed exposition on Hevajra, which was transmitted to me by Master Sakya Tsongkhong, the Jung Rinpoche. The Hevajra. The mantra. That's Hevajra's mantra. Of the 5 Heruka Dharma practices in Tribuddha school, what would Grandmaster recommend? The first one that I learned was Hevajra. That's why I rather like Hevajra. If you won't need a yidam, but Dharma protectors are different. Hevajra is also a Dharma protector, but Tribuddha school has other protectors. 2 protectors. One is Mahabala, one is Marichi. these two deities can be treated as protectors. But if you have reached Heruka practices, those are considered great practices. I have once asked my gurus, can I practice Heruka Dharma right away? And he told me, you practice your yidam, such as Amitabha for me, until you gain spiritual union, and then afterward you practice the Heruka. This is more important. Because they are great dharma of the Anuttara Yoga or highest Yoga Tantra. So it's not, you cannot practice Herukas before you practice your yidam, because the Heruka practices are very complicated, very complex. Very complicated. For beginners, they would not understand, like Kalachakra Dharma practice. And Master Dupten Dorje transmitted to me Kalachakra Dharma practices. And he instructed me to spread Kalachakra Dharma to all 5 continents all over the world. Therefore, I have the instruction of the Kalachakra Dharma practices from Master Dupten Dorje. So the 2 Heruka practices that I mastered quite well are Hevajra and Kalachakra. And I also learned Mahotara Heruka, Chakrasambhara Heruka, and Guyasamaya Heruka are a little less. And I also have the sadhana or the liturgy for Yamantaka as well, which I obtained from a guru from the Gelugpa. The question, among the 5 Herukas, which one would Grandmaster recommend? The one that I learned that is very complete is Hevajra, which I wrote very detailed and completely, which was transmitted by Master Sakya Tsongkhung in the Sakyapa. And Kalachakra, which was transmitted by Master Dupten Dorje. When you reach the Heruka Dharma practices, you can choose which one of the 5 Herukas, as long as they have been transmitted by a Grandmaster. But it is best if that you have gained spiritual union with your own personal deity or yidam or of the 8 primary deities. And after you gain spiritual union with your yidam, then you can start your inner practices and the Heruka practices. This is the most important. That's answer to Malaysia. Liên Hoa Quan Tinh.
Now, 现在这样吧，再讲个笑话。
Let me share a joke.
有一个修行的和尚，
cultivating monk to save some money fix his own house, and he was very focused using the hammer to nail, and there was a little kid watching the monk hitting, and the monk asked the little kid, "Oh, you're a good kid. Are you learning how to fix the house?" Asking kindly, and the kid shook his head. "No, no. I just want to know. You as a monk and use the hammer to hit the nails, how would you curse? When you hit your fingers with the hammer, I want to know what you curse."
我刚刚讲的这个，有时候自己真的，自己有时候敲敲打打会敲到自己的手。
You know, sometimes when you're hitting then with those tools, or when you don't use scissors, you cut yourself, or you hit yourself with the hammers, or with the knives, and you're trying to cut something and slip. Like when I was in Malaysia, I hold a jambu and there was a fruit knife, and I was trying to cut it into pieces, a piece of fruit. How could you be so dumb and use the fruit knife to cut it like this on the hand? And of course I cut my own hand. In Malaysia, that I formed the mudra with my hand in band-aid. I really regretted it. That wound took half a year to heal, because the knife was very sharp, and I put the fruit, some kind of apple, Southeast Asian watery apple, rose apple, and I hated myself for being so dumb, because the fruit was very crispy, and of course I cut myself. So I cursed myself. What did I say? Truly. It's like the bald one, the donkey. It's the words to scold the monks, which means dummy, bald donkey. When people scold monks, they usually say, "What a dumb bald donkey." How would you curse when you cut yourself? Yeah.
你还猪头皮。你广东人讲
Cantonese would say, "What a pighead you are." What does that mean?
猪头皮，猪头皮卖自己呀？什么意思？猪头皮也是很笨啊！
It means dumb. Dumb.
我广东话我只会讲这一句，你还猪头饼。
That's all I know. Cantonese, that's the only Cantonese phrase I know. You're such a pighead. So dumb.
Ah, 现在的社会
Today's society
跟以前不一样了。
is different from before.
几个朋友在一起，
Several friends got together
感叹到现在的媒体
and sighing about medias this way, these days,
天下本无事，除非看
and
电视。
said there were no problem in this world unless you watch the
电视里
television.
面全部都是是非。
That's true, because there are all kinds of
我们在脸书上
stuff on TV.
见面的时候，大家都低头玩
And
脸。
B said, we see each other, but everybody just looking
顶多讲
down
哎
at playing
现
with
在只剩
Facebooks.
下厂商
And
记
she
得我的
said,
生日。
it's only the stores who remember my birth dates now.
我们现在
And
的
D
交
said,
友方式
the way we socialize
何
now
时只剩下给一个赞？
is just to say
对呀、
good
就是交朋友。
or like. That's how you make friends now.
好，我们进入这个维摩诘经。
Now we'll get into the
文字是
Vimalakirti
立言
Sutra.
居士
Manjusri
此
said,
事何以空无事？
Lay Buddhist master, why is this room empty without attendance?
他就问了，文字是立问
Manjusri
维摩诘
asked Vimalakirti,
因为维摩诘把这个房间
Because
家具全部变成没有，
Vimalakirti
而且
turned all the
所有的事
furnitures
都没有，
and the attendants into nothingness.
躺在床上，
So he was the only one lying in the bed,
然后
on bed,
他生病了，一个人躺在。
and he was
所以
sick,
文字是立
lying
继续
there
说
all by himself.
现在开始问
So when Manjusri entered the room and he started to ask, Master, why is this room empty without
诸佛
attendance?
国土
Vimalakirti
亦
replied,
皆空。
The Buddha verses are also utterly empty.
那本来就是空的啊。维摩诘回
They
答
were fundamentally empty, Vimalakirti
连佛国
replied.
净土也是空的啊。
Even the Buddha verses are empty.
佛国净土为什么是空的？
Why
明明有
are
西
the
方
Buddha
琉璃世
verses
界，
empty?
有东方琉璃世界，
Sukhavati, the Western realm of Atma's bliss
对
exists.
不对？
Abhirati, Pure Land
阿
exists.
苏如来的
The Pure Land of Akshoba
阿
Buddha.
苏佛的光明世界都有啊。为什么讲是空的呢？
And also
这里面我告诉大家，
the radiant Pure Land also exists. How come he said empty?
一个叫做如实空，
There are two kinds
也
of
可以这样子
emptiness.
讲真实空，
One is the real
真
emptiness,
实空，真
the
实
real
在，真正实在的空，
the real and true
这
emptiness.
个因缘空。
And the other kind of emptiness is called
像我们在这里
causes and
大家聚在
conditions
这
emptiness.
这里，
Like we all gather here,
明明有很多人啊，我可以
it's
讲
clear there are many people, but I can say it's all empty. Why? Because we are all
你的身
causes
体
and conditions
四
empty.
大假合
Your bodies are an aggregate of the four elements. They were fundamentally or originally
大
empty.
家也都是这样子，
Since I'm like this, everyone else is like this too.
都是空。
That's why I say everything is empty. That's emptiness due to causes and conditions.
是
Sukhavati
阿弥陀佛所
was manifested by Amitabha Buddha. It's a Pure Land manifested by Amitabha. The Eastern Lapis Lazuli realm was manifested by Medicine Tathagata. And the radiant realm of Akshobha Buddha was manifested by Akshobha Buddha. So we can say they are all emptiness due to causes and conditions. So Vimalakirti replied, the Buddha verses are also utterly empty, which means that all the Buddha verses, all the Buddha verses and Pure Lands are all empty, because they were all due to causes and conditions manifested by Amitabha Buddha, by Medicine Tathagata, by Akshobha Tathagata. And they were all fundamentally emptiness due to causes and conditions. They were all manifested. The true and real emptiness is Buddha nature. Buddha nature is the real and true emptiness. Manjushri asked again, what is emptiness? How is emptiness defined? Vimalakirti replied, emptiness is defined by emptiness. Empty, empty. Which is a pun of being dumb, dummy. Why? Empty, empty? I have said it. One is real emptiness, the other one is causes and condition emptiness. And causes and condition emptiness everything that arises due to causes and conditions is emptiness. And it is the middle way. Everything arises from causes and conditions. I say it's emptiness. And even when they have names, the names are also empty. Like Sang Yen Lu, my name is also fake or false. And it also has the meaning of the middle way. Madhyamaka is to combine the real emptiness and the emptiness due to causes and conditions. That's the middle way. The middle way is also combining the worldly and beyond worldly. So Vimalakirti replied, emptiness is defined by emptiness. So emptiness, emptiness. One is real emptiness, the other one is causes and condition emptiness. And Manjushri asked again, why is emptiness used for emptiness? And the answer given by Vimalakirti were all incredible, very meaningful. The two bodhisattvas with the greatest wisdom are having a dialogue, an exchange. Vimalakirti said, Manjushri asked, why is emptiness used for emptiness? Since it's empty, why do we still use emptiness? The answer, because it is empty of discernment, it is empty. Use discernment to discern emptiness, therefore it is empty. That's why I just said real emptiness and causes and condition emptiness. Causes and condition emptiness has phenomena, but real emptiness does not have phenomena. So even emptiness with phenomena is also empty. So Manjushri asks, is there any differences since it is empty? And Vimalakirti said, discernment or differentiation is also empty. That's why it's called empty. Because discernment is also empty. I use a human as an example. We have phenomena. So we are emptiness due to discernment. Because we are comprised of earth, water, fire, and wind. When you is disintegrated, then it's emptiness. So look at this table. It exists, right? It's made of wood. And when you burn it with fire, the table is gone. So that's emptiness due to discernment. Because it can break down, can disappear. An old house, after 100 or 200 years, one day it will be gone, will be demolished and rebuilt. So a house is also an aggregate. It can exist and disappear. So that's emptiness due to causes and condition. Let's just say a car. You drive it until it breaks down. And then you bring it to the dump and demolish. And then the car disappears. So that's causes and condition emptiness. Emptiness due to causes and condition. Because they are all aggregates. Humans and animals are all aggregates. So are they humans in the Saha world? Yes. Because there are emptiness due to causes and condition. But if you say there are no humans in the Saha world, that's also correct. Because that's a real emptiness. That's why it's emptiness, emptiness. Two kinds of emptiness. So the Vajra Sutra states the real phenomena or the true reality, non-phenomena. The phenomena that you see are not real. The real phenomena is emptiness, stated in the Vajra Sutra. The real phenomena is non-phenomena. Any phenomena that you can see is not real. Like the Sangyen Lu, Grandmaster Lu that you can see now, and the Grandmaster Lu with the round and full face that you saw are different. And people will be shocked to see how skinny you are now. You know, Reverend Lily, when she was young, her father said that she's the most beautiful lady. Please stand up and show everyone. She's 78. She's 1 year younger than I am. She's 78. When you were young, you told me that I, in our family, my father was very proud of me because he regarded me, Reverend Li, as the most beautiful. We just immigrated to America. We were looking for someone that can speak Chinese at the bank, and that was Reverend Li. At that time, in her front yard, there were 3 men always mowing the lawn. And if Reverend Li peeked at them from the window, they would be very satisfied. The 3 men were, one was in the fruit business, one was a developer, and one was a rich man from Taipei. These 3 men. Do you remember them? She did not have to mow the lawn. Just with a shout, 3 men would mow the lawn for her. And if Reverend Li opened the window and looked at them, and they were very satisfied. Now let me ask you, when you look at yourself in the mirror now, do you still find yourself beautiful? Didn't dare to look in the mirror. Don't you have mirror in your house? That's why human beings are false, are not real, are fake. Back then, we went to the bank. I didn't go to the bank, but we were looking for a Chinese-speaking person, and we met Reverend Li. She was at what was your position at the bank?
Vice President. Vice President 就是副董。
Vice President.
好，来，请坐，请坐，副董。
Please be seated.
Vice President.
Vice President.
她年轻的时候很美的。
She was very beautiful when she was young. Everyone seeing her,
台湾分林呐，最大职场的老板要娶她。
The boss of the Taiwan, some big business, wanted to marry her and also give her a house and a car and a certain amount of money to marry her. The family name was Xu. It was a paper company. Wanted to marry her. She was beautiful. Give her. Let's not talk about her. Let's talk about myself. When I was young, I was also very cool and handsome. That photo was very good. I kept it with me all the time. But comparing now and that photo, like 2 different people. That's emptiness. The body is false. The photo I took in my 20s was very handsome. And there were many people wanted to be on blind dates through the photo. But who would know that I look like this now? Forget about it. You're still handsome. Forget it. So discernment is also empty. different time, different thing. 20 something and now 79 are different. The past is empty and the present is causes and condition emptiness. So discernment between the past and now, like Vivian, Xiaoduan, when she was young, I knew her since she was young. When she was still very young, she was very beautiful then. And now she's still beautiful. Now she's still beautiful, right? Xiaoduan hasn't changed. However, if you discern it, then there are differences. It still will change. Discernment is also empty. And Manjushri asks again, how should one seek emptiness? To recognize this emptiness, how should we understand or comprehend or to gain the understanding of emptiness? And you seek it amidst the 62 views. To recognize the real emptiness, you need to seek among the causes and condition emptiness. So 62 views are the 62 incorrect views. Because in Buddhism, other than Buddhism, there are many other schools or many other religions, and their views are not correct. But in order to recognize the true emptiness, you have to seek among the incorrect views or among the causes and condition emptiness in order to gain the true emptiness. So 62 views are 62 heretical views in the heretical paths. And he asks again, how should we seek the 62 views? And one should seek them within the liberation of all Buddhas. So now it's turned around again. 3 liberations. All the Buddhas, liberation through non-phenomena, liberation through the ultimate truth of emptiness, and so you seek from the liberation of all Buddhas in order to get the real emptiness. We're talking for a long time. And Manjushri Bodhisattva asks again, where should one seek the liberation of all Buddhas? And Vimalakirti replied, this is very difficult. One should seek it within the mind and actions of all sentient beings. The Buddhas transcend the world. The Buddhas come from the world, the Saha world. You want to seek it among all sentient beings in order to gain true understanding of the real or true emptiness. because sentient beings are amidst the causes and condition emptiness. But by understanding sentient beings, you would know what is the true and real emptiness. That's all for today.
The
Vimalakirti Sutra, the dialogues between Manjushri Bodhisattva and Vimalakirti are very, very interesting and profound.